Dangerous Hurricane Milton is just hours away from landfall in the western areas of Florida. I'm Mike Nasa with continuing video update coverage of this very powerful hurricane. Taking a look at this visible true color image, look at that bubbling right around the eye as it gets very, very close to areas of Sarasota, Venice, Bradenton Beach, and Tampa, St. Petersburg. It looks like it's going to be pretty darn close to a direct hit for Tampa. We'll wait and see. Regardless, nasty conditions along the west coast of Florida. Take a look at this. This is a webcam out of Naples, Florida from ABC 13, and look at that surf. And that's in Naples. That is way far away from the center of the hurricane. So if it's that nasty now, imagine how it's going to be at high tide. Imagine how it's going to be further north near areas like Bradenton Beach and the Sarasota region. So again, stay away from the water. It's getting very, very treacherous out there. Here's the latest as of 5 p.m. from the National Hurricane Center on Hurricane Milton. It's at 26.9 north, 83.4 west. That puts it only about 60 miles away from areas there of Sarasota, Florida, and it is moving northeast at 17. Still expected to bend a little bit east-northeast and slow down just a hair as it makes landfall, but we haven't seen that quite yet. Winds are down to 120 miles per hour. Now, that is a difference from a Category 4 hurricane, but it is still a Category 3, still a dangerous, powerful major hurricane. And the bad news is, look at the wind field. Look at how tiny Milton was through time and how large it's become now, especially with tropical storm force winds extending out 255 miles from the center. Hurricane force winds 35 miles from the center. Thank goodness that's not larger. But a lot of very strong winds along the areas of western Florida, spreading across the entire peninsula. Now here's the power outage map. Right now, we have outages, but it's going to increase. So again, be ready for them all along areas here of the western coastline of Florida as the hurricane cuts across. It's going to be very, very nasty. CycloneWeather.com, Alex Borum posted this. These are the aircraft recon progs as they zigzag around the hurricane as it closes in on the coast. Note the pressure coming up, 932, 937, 949, 948, clearly weakening. However, notice here the track. You see these little wobbles become very important as it closes in on landfall. It can easily wobble to the right or to the left, but it seems to be headed in the general direction of Bradenton, Sarasota, and Tampa Bay, St. Petersburg. So again, we could have a direct hit on our hands. Tampa Bay, it's been 103 years since a Category 3 hurricane hit directly in Tampa Bay. Will this remain a Category 3 or will it weaken to a Category 2? If it drops down to a Category 2, it will not count as a major hurricane. So, you know, the stakes are very high right now with Hurricane Milton. Brian McNulty's radar page, look at this. Not only do we have these horrendous thunderstorms, which I'll show you in a minute, all these tornadoes all over, but watch the direction of the eye here. The eye shrunk and then it kind of overtook a new eye, but it's open to the south. That's good news. That means it's weakening. But all of this energy is getting forced right in the direction of Tampa and Sarasota. So again, heavy, heavy weather, winds gusting. It's going to be very, very nasty. It's going to go downhill and bring that water on shore. How high? 9 to 13 feet in areas between Anna Maria Island and Boca Grande. And remember, these areas here include Bradenton Beach, Sarasota, all through Venice. And that doesn't even include the 8 to 12 feet in Charlotte Harbor and areas down to Bonita Beach. So again, if I showed you that surf, again, I'll show it to you now. If this is what it looks like in Naples, just imagine what it's going to look like up near Bradenton Beach. In fact, let me go in here. I'm going to show you some tide gauges. Why not? It's 5:15, so all of this, by the time you see the video, as of 5:15, there's a tide gauge here very near Fort Myers. Look at that. Look at the water rise. It's shooting up, and that's Fort Myers. That's well south of where the hurricane is. And then Naples, your tide gauge, look at that. Wow. Getting into moderate flooding already in Naples, Naples Bay. So a lot of these areas may be submerged. Now, whether it's 3 feet of water or 13 feet could make a big difference, but it's very, very dangerous. It only takes 6 inches to float a car. So we could be dealing with some major, major storm surge issues. Here's the water vapor image, and clearly this hurricane is being sheared, is being influenced baroclinically by the trophiness to the north, the frontal boundary. Here's the system we watched over Florida a few days ago. This could actually develop into a tropical storm as it moves out. But all of this wind shear is helping to weaken the hurricane and push it out. So it's not going to strengthen anymore, and it's certainly not going to turn back west or anything like that. However, it is causing a lot of severe weather. We do have this tornado watch out, and this might be extended northward towards Gainesville, Jacksonville as the hurricane pushes on in. Anytime you have a landfalling hurricane, you have the threat of severe weather. Look at these tornadoes. Look at this. This is out of Fort Pierce in Florida. Look at that tornado there. Look at this. This one is Wellington. Look at how violent. Look at these are violent, damaging tornadoes. Taking a look at the radar, there's the eye of the hurricane. Let me scroll the radar through here. I'm going to put some warnings on here for you. Warnings and some storm reports. Look at this. Near Vero Beach, tornado warning observed. A tornado from a National Weather Service employee. Down here near Palm City, a couple of tornadoes. Look at that. Look at these. These are observed tornadoes. Trained spotters spotted tornadoes around 4 p.m. So again, this continues. So it's not just the storm surge and the wind. You also have the severe weather. Very, very bad news. Again, the eye of the hurricane appears to be making a little bit of a beeline for Bradenton. But again, Sarasota, Venice, downtown Tampa Bay, where exactly it goes in will have very, very critical impacts on where the storm surge comes in. But if we've seen that kind of water rise down here near Naples, just imagine what it's going to be for Sanibel, Captiva, and areas further north. So again, everybody hunker down. This is a very dangerous hurricane, and we're going to continue to monitor it as time goes by. I'm Mike Naso with continuing coverage of Hurricane Milton, just hours away from landfall along the west coast of Florida as a very dangerous major hurricane.